Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Aromacup.com, and thank you so much for joining me here, as always, in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you a quick recipe for making a latte by making use of the Francis Y1 Red single-serve espresso machine by Illy. Real quick and easy recipe. Let's dive right in and show you how it's done. All right, guys, so a cool trick that I like to make use of in order to really make sure that I've got a nice hot beverage all across the board here is to first start off with just running some hot water through my Y1. So I'm going to put my Bodum double-walled espresso glass that I have right here underneath the brew basket, and I'm just going to go ahead and start running some hot water through the Y1. Now, you don't need to fill up this shot glass, you don't need to use up all of your water on the Y1, but this is a cool trick because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the hot water into my large mug that I have right here. Now, if you've got a really large mug, again, you may want to do more than this, or you may want to keep this mug warm in another fashion. But the whole purpose of doing this is to be able to keep some hot water in the mug until it's time to use it. And that way, I'm going to keep it nice and hot and really just get the most flavor out of my drink. More heat generally equals more flavor locked into my beverage. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour this hot water right here and into my mug. Okay, so that's going to keep the mug nice and hot while I do the rest of my work. So let's go ahead and start our milk first off, because the milk is going to take a little bit longer than the espresso. So I have here the Nespresso Aerochino. This is one of my favorite devices to have in my at-home coffee shop. And I'm making use of the whisk, which is for making more hot milk than it is making froth. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and then I'm going to add enough milk to go right up to about the max fill line here inside the Aerochino. Now all I need to do is pop my lid on, and then I'm just going to go ahead and press the button here on the front, and I'm going to let the Aerochino start doing its thing. It's glowing red on the front, so it's getting my milk nice and hot. Now, let's go ahead and make our coffee. First of all, of course, I'm going to put my shot glass underneath the brew basket on the Y1, and I'm going to pop open the top of the unit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and select a Illy espresso capsules. So these are very, very stylized, as you can see. I've talked about these in our other videos. They definitely are unlike any capsule I've ever encountered. They're entirely plastic, so you need to make sure that you latch down the top of the Y1 enough in order to punch through that plastic. So I'm going to close it, and then I'm actually going to latch it down. So now that I've latched it down, I'm ready to start brewing, and I'm also ready to start brewing because here my brew button is glowing white around the edge of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and just press the brew button and let the machine start doing its thing. Now an important thing to remember, guys, with this single-serve espresso machine, above the other machines which we've spoken about in the past, is that there is no timer in this machine. In order to stop this machine from brewing, you must actually stop the brew process. So I'm going to go ahead and do up to just about a full double right here. So there we go. All I need to do is press that button, and now the brewing process stops. But you can see that I've got a nice layering going on here. I've got a nice crema on the top, and then my color makes its way from very light going all the way to the very dark here on the bottom. Now, I've brewed a little more coffee here, and this is all entirely up to you when it comes to how you like your drink. If you like a stronger drink, you do not need to use as much espresso as I am using right here. But just remember, taste is all relative when it comes to things like this. Just make the drink that you know you like the most. You're going to want to experiment with the milk-water ratio, the coffee ratio, things like that. So let's take a look at the Aerochino. It's all done making our milk, so I'm going to pop the lid off. Now the Aerochino, because I was using the whisk, which is simply for making hot milk, I only have a little bit of froth on the top here. I've got mostly just some nice hot milk that's great for my latte. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take my large mug, which I previously poured my hot water into, which is nice and warm as a result, and I'm just going to empty that water out. And you can get rid of that or wait for it to cool down and pour it in the plants or something like that. And now we're going to go ahead and do our espresso first. So I'm just going to take this guy and just pour it straight in. So I could drink that just as it is if I really wanted to, but I'm making a latte, which means that I'm going to have a lot of milk to coffee ratio. So I'm going to hold back my foam that I've got right here, the little bit that I have, and I'm just going to start adding my milk. Now again, this is all relative. You know, you're going to want to really decide on what kind of flavor it is that you want. If you like a little more milk than coffee, that's perfectly fine. But a latte typically is going to have more milk than you're going to have coffee or foam. Now, let's do a little extra bonus here, and let's add in some vanilla syrup. Now again, this is entirely up to you on the flavor that you like in your drink. I'm just going to go ahead, add a little bit here. I like mine kind of sweet. Then I'll go ahead and mix this up just a little bit. And I like to top off with just a little bit of foam. Don't have to do too much, but it gives a nice finish to the drink. And a little foam never hurts on any drink, I personally believe. I love frothed milk on just about anything. But there you go, guys. That's a nice vanilla latte, all made using the Francis Francis Y1 Red by Illy. Real easy to make, as you can see. Great drink. And that's something I love about this machine, is how easily I can do these things. And then you're all set to make another drink for a friend or anyone else in the house. So there you go, guys. Quick overview of how to make a nice vanilla latte using this machine. I hope you found it useful. Remember to join us at Aromacup.com. And as always, I'm Brian. Thanks for joining me, and enjoy your cup. Take care.